the core emotions I've been really thinking about this a lot lately, how powerful they are. At the last day of the dispenser retreat, I just really settled into a few of mine that I think two of them are definitely in my lineage. And then one of them is definitely just part of me, but I've had it for a long time. And not that it's bad, but just acknowledging it, I have felt a lot of freedom in moving on. But and ones I see on people often are not being worthy, not being good enough, guilt, feeling alone. And I think when we tap into this sometimes too, we can tap into our addictive tendencies, like the cell phone here.
Hmm.
Like every time we reach for something, is it because I feel this deep level of being alone, or do I feel this deep level of not feeling good enough, so I have to keep doing something? I mean, I think we all feel this in some way, and that again, that's why I love energy medicine, because when your nervous system rebalances, I would say this too, like a lot of energy medicine is rebalancing the autonomic nervous system, and I know the work you and your dad do, so much of it is balancing the autonomic nervous system, which is the unconscious nervous system. Then you kind of almost automatically, your body says to itself, wait a minute, should I pick up my phone right now? Or am I okay just being with me? How am I really feeling inside?
Yeah, it's really interesting that with all these tools you have, of course, there's still the responsibility on the patient themselves, a person, to take the actions, even when you're given these wonderful energy medicine tools and all sorts of integrative tools, to take the actions to get yourself in the best possible state of health. What I found, because you're right, we have so many things that are addictive around us, especially technology. And when we're in a state where we don't have the vitality, the awareness, and the kind of, I would say, vibrance within our energy to resist, that's when we fall. It's like when I'm really tired, right? I eat worse, for number one.
Right.
I crave worse food when I usually eat quite clean. And I find myself just checking the phone more. It's suddenly that addiction kind of gets me a little bit more. Do you feel that living a healthier life and, meditating, doing all these things, rewiring the brain, allows us to gain more freedom from these things that were absolutely created, like the cell phone, to be addictive?
Absolutely. Because, even though we're talking energy medicine here, we are in material physical bodies. And I
Yep.
think treating them kindly and wisely is super important. For instance, a case in point, there's this adaptogenic blend of herbs I find. My second child is 21 months. And I have a 5.5-year-old. So I'm pretty tired between that and work. Although honestly, I actually don't feel it. And I forget. Of course, some of it is the meditation, exercise, I eat well, but I'll be honest, I have good supplements I take. And sometimes there'll be a day or two, I'll be like, why am I crashing in the afternoon? And then I'm like, and once I feel that crash, I want to go into the spiral. For me, it's not so much grabbing the phone or eating, but it's more my emotional addictions, going into like a all pour me or whatever
Mm-hmm.
state. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't take my supplement. So I will say we do live in this fast-paced world, and I have all these tools that help. But I do think taking that there are things I take that really support my body, and maybe I wouldn't need them if I weren't living in the world I'm living in, but they really
Mm.
support my body. I feel like they're protecting me from toxins. They're giving me stress support. They're supporting my adrenals. So I do think that there's definitely a place for taking physical